Good morning, Tahmina Khan is here in TK Maths S1. In today's video, I will explain to you a concept of linear combination of random variables. It is part of the syllabus of A-level Mathematics S2, code 9709. And to explain this concept, I have picked up a question from CAIE, November 18, 7-1, question 5. So before I begin, you can see on the top my website address, tkmaths.com, and my blog address, tkmathsisfun.blogspot.com. Do visit it. You will find it very useful in your learning process. I offer classes also over there, so you'll find the details there. So let's begin with the question. So you need to recall few formulae which we will be needed in this to solve this question. So let's have a quick recap of those formulas so that when we apply, we do not get confused what we are doing, right? So first of all, mean and variance of a ax plus b. It's a linear combination, right? So mean, when you're finding out of a function, linear function ax plus b, if it is just ax, constant a will come out and you will take mean of the random variable x. Similarly, if it is mean of ax plus b, now you have to understand the type of function we are taking here. So constant multiply mean of this plus b. So constant is added as it is. In variance, the important thing, if you compare from mean and variance, it is squared, right? So a is, when it goes out, it is squared, right? So this is important thing. Second important thing, in case of variance, when you're finding of ax plus b, just imagine number here. For example, you have 2x plus b. So x is representing some random variable. We will see its mean and variance. So now 2 will become 2 square, and this will not affect the variance, right? Next. Now you have ax plus by. Earlier we have taken here only constant, right? So exactly in the same way, it will be a times mean of x plus b times mean of y. You can see from here. With minus sign in between, exactly same, plus will be replaced by minus. You just need to recall this, right? X and y are independent. Now, in case of variance, like we have seen before, a becomes a square times variance of x, and b becomes b square. Now, important thing to remember to apply is when you have minus, it remains plus in variance, right? So this is very important to remember when you are applying it. Now, sum and multiplication we will see, and difference. So now you have two random normal variables. For example, because the question I have taken has normal variables in it. So if you know x random variable has mean mu1 and variance sigma 1, mu2, sigma 2 square, of course, right? So when you are adding it up, x plus y, means are added, mu1 plus mu2, variance are added. So your new combination of x plus y, because sometimes it says total of something. So x plus y will become mu1 plus mu2, sigma 1 square plus sigma 2 square. So you get a new set of parameters here. If it is talking about mean of x minus y, right? We will see this in the question I will explain to you. Means you subtract, but variance you add. So remember, this is extremely important. So what it will become? When you are subtracting to independent normal variable, the new mean for this random variable, total one, is mu1 minus mu2 and sigma 1 square plus sigma 2. When I'm saying total, I mean about this one, right? It doesn't mean total means sum here. So let's have a look of the question. So what we have seen in the formula, now we will see the application. So two random variables are T1 and T2. And what are they representing? Time in months taken by a builder to build two types of houses, P and Q. So this is about house P timings and this is about house Q timing. So you have to find the total time taken to build one house of each type in less than 6 months. So you have to find out the probability of it, right? So let's write down from question first of all the information so that you don't need to read it again and again. You can just pick up numbers from here. So this information is about house P and this is about house Q. Now total time mean T1 plus T2 because it is saying find the probability that the total time the builder will take to build one house of each type. So you will add mean of this and this and add variance of this and this. So you will get your new parameters from here, 5 and 0.41. And question is saying total time taken is less than 6 months. So what does it mean? It means, yes, it means T1 plus T2 less than 6. So this is the whole question. Now we know the new mean and variance for T1 plus T2. And we need to change this into Z so that we can read normal standardized table, right? So the formula for Z is X minus mu divided by sigma, standard deviation, right? And this is mean. So I'm simply substituting the value. This is my X now, which is actually T1 plus T2. Sorry. So this is my mean, 5, and this is the standard deviation. So now I will calculate my Z, which is less than 1.562. So now I will read it from the table. And how you will read in the table will be look like this because the table which is given to you has only positive values of Z, right? So you will see this represent first decimal place, second decimal place, third decimal place. And in the table, first decimal place of Z are here, second decimal place is here, and third decimal place is here. So first of all, you will go and check 1.5 and 6. What is it reading? 0.9406. And the third decimal place 2, you read, it is also 2. It's not always the same. It's in this case only. So now you will add up these two, and this goes in the last unit here, right? In addition, do not add 2 plus 0.9406, okay? So this is how it is added. So you got the probability, the total time to build one house is less than 6 months, is 0.941. Okay, let's see the second part of the question. Now it is saying, find the probability that the time taken to build a house Q is more than 1.2 times. So this is important because it will help us to form a relationship here. Type Q is more than 1.2 times the time taken to build house P. So what statement it will help us to make? This information is from the question again. This is the meaning of it. It's extremely important. So when you understand this language, you need to put it in the mathematical notation so that you can solve it. Q is greater than 1.2 times P. So now I will find out Q minus 1.2 P greater than 0. So now I will find out mu and variance for this. So first of all, let's find it out and then we will change it into Z. Okay. So the slide I showed it to you earlier, how we will find out mean. So now I will find out mean and variance of this Q minus 1.2 P. Now, E of Q minus E of this, right? This is the meaning of it. I have just shown you in the formula. Now, E of Q is what? This is Q, 2.8. And what this will become, let's see here. I have written here for reference this thing again. So now E of Q is 2.8 and 1.2 multiplied by E of P. E of P is 2.2. So this is how you will get your new mean for this Q minus 1.2P because you have to find the probability of it. Now let's find the variance. So now we will find the variance of this. So it is what it will be. I have just shown you in the recall slide. Variance of Q and minus will become what? Plus variance of 1.2P. Now this is a multiplication case. So what else you will do? When it will come out as a multiplier, you will square it, right? So variance of Q you will pick up from here. It is 0.5 square. Then variance of P is 0.4 square. and this is squaring because of the formula I have shown you. So now you have the variance and mean for Q minus 1.2. So now we will use this to solve the question. I have shown you so many steps. You don't need to do them. This was just for the sake of explanation. You can do it very quickly on the calculator and write down this final answer. Okay, so those steps which I showed you how I'm getting this is not a part of your working. If you don't want to show, fine. If you show it, there's no problem. So now I have to find out the probability of Q minus 1.2p. So I'll change it into Z now, and this is the formula. So this is my mu and this is my variance. Okay. So now, and this will be my X, which is actually Q minus 1.2p in this case. So 0 minus 0.16 from here. And this is variance. So I'm writing a standard deviation of it because that is the requirement. So you get Z greater than minus 0.231. Now we know the table we have does not have Z in negative. So we use the concept. What concept we will use? Because the meaning of this, you have to find out this probability. You can't read the table for negative value. You will use symmetrical concept, right? Because in no standardized form or normal, it is bell-shaped graph. So whatever is 0.231, you will have a positive of it on this side. So this area will be equals to this area. So what does it remind you? That if you have to calculate the probability of Z greater than minus 0.231, it will be equals to probability of Z less than 0.231. So now this we can read very easily from the table. Again, I have just explained it to you. First decimal place, second decimal place, third decimal place in the table. So I will read against 0.2 and I will see 3 from here. So this is my probability. At 1, which is third place, decimal place, it is 4. So I'll add it here. So this will give me the probability for Q minus 1.2p. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you have learned or liked it, please press like and subscribe button, share it with your friends. You can also check the playlist. You will find it useful. Thank you very much once again. Take care. Allah Hafiz.